All right, good morning, everyone. It is the 15th of June, 2021, and this is my morning strategy session. So I'm going to start off with Bitcoin, which I don't trade Bitcoin. I am interested in Coinbase and a couple of other stocks. Actually, let me pull down a couple of the stocks that I look at for sort of playing crypto. So there's Coinbase, of course, which had a really disappointing IPO. There are a lot of people who are really disappointed with this IPO. 250 bucks was supposed to be like kind of its rollout price. Back here on April 14th, it opened at like $380 and then ran up to a high of a high of $429. Hit a low of 310 and closed at 328. I don't know. I mean, I'm not disappointed with it. I don't know why people are. I guess there are a lot of people who lost money on it, so that's why there are a lot of people who are disappointed with it. I didn't. Oh, I did play the IPO. I made a little bit of money on it. I played the opening day, but after that, I just kind of sat back and watched. Sometimes, when there's so much hype around something, there were a lot of people who were predicting this thing would go to $800 on the opening day, and so on and so on. You just never know on an IPO. I don't really. There's some majority percentage of IPOs after they open, within a matter of only a couple of weeks or so, the share price is lower than its opening IPO price. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm watching Coinbase, and Coinbase does move somewhat in tandem with the price of Bitcoin. But the reason I like Coinbase is that it's a trading platform, and people are going to trade regardless of where the price of Coinbase is going. They're going to buy and sell, and Coinbase is the largest global trading platform for cryptocurrencies. So I'm watching that one. And then the next one is Asino. This is actually a global shipping company that has recently started a Coinbase, or I should say, a crypto mining operation. And so I've been buying. I'm in a really small position down here on Sino, right around its 200-day moving average. You can see here. Let me make it a little bit larger. So its price is somewhat. It's down. It caught a pretty decent bid there. It went up to as high as 12 bucks or so for a little bit. Dipped down, ran back up again. Kind of double topped here. Topped out right over here, and now is just kind of catching some support in this price range. And so I'm not taking a lot of risk on this, but I am averaging into a position through this period of consolidation here. This is an investment for me. I'm not giving investment advice. This is just what I'm doing. And so back over to crypto, back over to Bitcoin, I should say. There are a lot of people who are watching this formation right here and are saying that this is the Head and Shoulders. I'll make this a different color. We'll make it pink. And that, so this is the left shoulder of the Head and Shoulders formation. This is the head, and this is the right shoulder over here, which might be the case. I mean, there might be a bigger Head and Shoulders within the smaller formation. But to me, this area right in here, this consolidation zone, is the bigger, is the most important Head and Shoulders formation right now. And the reason being is that so Head and shoulders formations have there's some criteria to fulfill a head and shoulders formation that is confused. So when I started studying chart patterns, and this is, over 16 years ago, the head and shoulders pattern for a reversal needs a neckline that is going in the reversal direction. So first of all, let me just go over the criteria, and then I'll show you the difference between this larger head and shoulders pattern and this sort of smaller head and shoulders pattern. So the head and shoulders, the left shoulder has to be taller than the right shoulder. Now let me actually just kind of get all this stuff out of the way for a few minutes here. Okay, let me get rid of that horizontal ray too. So the left shoulder has to be higher than the right shoulder, and the head has to be higher than both of them. So here we go. We have right here, and it's within a consolidation pattern too. So this is the consolidation pattern right here. That is this entire thing. This entire thing is not a consolidation pattern. This zone here is the consolidation pattern. Okay, so within this pattern of accumulation and distribution right here, you have a left shoulder that is higher than the right shoulder, and a head that is higher than both of them. In addition, we have a neckline here that's pointing in we'll call it the southern direction, downward direction, right? If we take a look at the larger pattern that people are paying attention to right now, this one, okay, so as of right now, the right shoulder is lower than the left shoulder. The head, if you want to call this a head and shoulders, the head is higher, and there we have a higher left shoulder. All right, but this would be what I would call a weak pattern, because the neckline is moving in an upward trajectory. Do you see this red neckline right here? So the four components of a head and shoulder pattern is a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, and a neckline. And the neckline needs to be pointing in the direction of the reversal. So in this case right here, people are anticipating a head and shoulders that will fill a pattern to the downward direction. But the neckline is moving in an upward direction. It has a bullish bias. Whereas, let me make those invisible again and make that trend line invisible. Whereas the pattern that's in play right now with this head and shoulders up here, let's see, here we have a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Left shoulder is higher than the right shoulder, the head sticks above both of them, and we have a neckline that's pointing in the downward position. That's what's going on with Bitcoin right now. Until Bitcoin can break above this neckline and hold above the neckline, continue moving higher, this reversal, there is selling pressure. Bitcoin is bearish, in my opinion. All right. Now, it is important to note that the left shoulder is also the left shoulder of the larger pattern is sort of in this price zone. So a move above the neckline and then a close above this peak over here that happened in January of 21, that is important. That is an important price level. It's not a head and shoulders though. That's just resistance. That's just a price resistance area. So, you can see here there's a really powerful move back here. Here's this peak. Bitcoin dipped down, came back and just blasted through that price line, that 42,000. It's 42,000 even. That $42,000 price line is important, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not a part of a reversal pattern. It's just price resistance. And it's actually also, you can see here, it did act almost, price almost came back down. Here's the low on this day of 43,000. So it didn't come down to test that price line perfectly, but buyers did step in as it got close to that 42,000 level. And then over here, you can see as it started to slide, it came down and tested. Let's look at the low here. The low here is 42,100. And then the low here is 42,023. So it came within $100 on these 2 days, and then bounced away from 42,000. Then on this day here, it just plunged, and once it broke that 42,000 level, you can see on this candle that it went to a low of 30,000, from 42,000 to 30,000. So it really barreled through, right? Now, that 42,000 level is important, but there's also the neckline here. So it came down, tested the neckline, broke the neckline in the same sort of area. You can see here, this candle hit the neckline, bounced away, then closed below the neckline, and then tried to stab back up through the neckline to hold the neckline, and fell through. And then the next day, it just let go. Traders like, all right. So let's see. Yeah, and so then it spent the next couple of days trying to recover that 42,000 area, never really came back to test the neckline again, and has just kind of faded away a bit since. Went to a low of, it looks like 30,000 was the ultimate low there. So I have a bearish sentiment on Bitcoin for the time being until it's able to recover the neckline and that 42,000 area. Once it does, it does. If it comes back and tests this neckline and gets rejected really hard, there's still going to be a few months, weeks, whatever it is, of weakness on Bitcoin until it decides to move forward. Long term, I'm bullish on cryptocurrencies in general, and Bitcoin seems to be the leader amongst the cryptocurrencies. So I will be using this time to, I'll be watching Coin and Sino, and I'll be using this time to average into positions, investments on Coin and Sino. This is not investment advice. This is just what I'm doing. All right. So the rest of the market today is looking pretty quiet. So I've got my large cap scanner up and my small cap scanner up. My large cap scanner has 0 green stocks on it. They're all red. And I really prefer to trade to the long side rather than be short. Although I did put a short position on yesterday. I'll show you that one. So there's some continuation plays here, and then there are a couple of small caps that I'm going to watch. I might try and trade one of them. All right, so let's just go through it. RAPT had a pretty decent day yesterday. If it opened up right now, let me pull up the the level 2 on RAPT, because the chart is saying it's at 47.50. Yeah, and it's not. The chart is saying RAPT is at 45.15, and the last fill on RAPT was at $43.69. So I'll be watching it. I might look for a trade if price comes back into this candle, say around halfway to the bottom of this candle right here. If price comes down to like $34.50 roughly, whatever half of this price is, then I might take a stab at it. We'll see. AMC, AMC's got to break 60.62 for me to get interested. This is just another continuation play. 60.62 is the top of the sort of dead cat bounce right here. GME, GME is looking like it's putting in a little bit of a bear flag right here. Right there. Looking pretty bearish. And then the small cap that I'm looking at is UFAB. I couldn't find any news on UFAB, so I probably won't trade it. But then we have ALF, and ALF here has a headline that let's pull up my notes here. A Miami-based manufacturing center to roll out 10,000 Uber and Lyft digital tablets. So there's a manufacturing company out of Miami. And Miami's kind of hot right now, from what I understand. There are a lot of people who, the business environment in Miami has gotten really friendly to people escaping the Northeast and the Northwest for more business-friendly environments. And so Florida in general, I'm somewhat bullish on Florida just because it's got low taxes, business-friendly environment. And so there's a manufacturing company out of Miami that's it's a small cap, and it's gotten a big order for some type of a manufacturing contract, and it's catching a bid. So it's a momentum play. I'll see how it does. The SPY here, if the SPY opened up right now, pardon me, if the SPY opened up right now, it would open up 0.03% higher. This, at the end of the day yesterday, the SPY really turned on the jets and had a really good rally at the end of the day. So what's going on with it exactly, I'm not sure. Let me get those marks off of there. There we go. They're from trades that I put in yesterday. So I'll be watching the SPY for opportunities when the relative strength indicators on the SPY and the VIX decide to coordinate for an entry on calls. I'll be looking for an opportunity there. All right, everyone, that is my morning strategy session. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Good luck out there. Keep your risk tight. I will see you at the recap. I am out.